Trump has talked about loyalty and how these cabinet picks, yes, some of them are political animals, but he wants loyalty. What I have found interesting about some of the picks, though, is I don't see them all as being just yes men. I think there will be people who come in with their own ideas, and to hark back to RFK, I think he's a prime example where they're going to have to get on the same page about some stuff.
Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Jim Antle, and I'm joined today by Managing Editor Chris Irvine. Chris, we're having a new Trump administration. Going to be a little different than the old Trump administration, certainly different than the Biden administration. What are some of the big storylines that we're hearing as part of this transition?
Yeah, well, I think certainly the rapid fire appointments have been quite jarring and a nice. I think it's a welcome reminder of how newsy the Trump administration was. I think the last 4 years have at times been quite sleepy. Sleepy Joe, obviously,
yes.
You know, that's why he has the nickname.
Indeed.
I think for some people who maybe didn't work through the first administration, that those first few days are a real reminder that we're back in business now, and it's not going to be boring. I suppose
Right.
that'll be the main thing. And some of the picks have certainly been controversial, to say the least.
Yeah, you even had some reporters complaining on social media that they had to cover all of these announcements that were happening after 5 o'clock on a Friday, which is generally not how the Biden White House operated.
Yeah. Well, look, I think journalists can sometimes be a little bit woe is me when it comes to that stuff. I mean, God forbid you actually have to do your job and go and report on these things. I think, fine, Friday evening, Friday news dump is a bit annoying, but these things happen. You know, you have to kind of roll with the punches, and Trump doesn't care, when you sleep, so you just have to get ready for it.
So in theory, all of these picks should be very easily confirmable because there's 53 Republican senators, so they have control of the Senate.
Yeah.
You can't filibuster executive branch appointees anymore, so Democrats really ideally don't have any say in this. But it may not be a foregone conclusion that they're all confirmable.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the biggie was Matt Gaetz, but he's now fallen on his sword, and there has been that theory as to whether he was sort of stalking horse and to allow other people to get through. I think there will be very real questions about a few of the candidates. Pete Hegseth seems to have, who's been nominated for Secretary of Defense, may have kind of navigated those choppy waters already. It seemed like there was some mood music coming out of Congress that Republicans are generally quite happy with him and probably some of the answers that he's given to awkward questions. Now, we'll wait and see if anything further comes out there with the incident that he is alleged to have been involved in and has denied any wrongdoing. RFK will have some interesting questions about things that he has championed in the past. A lot of people don't, kind of just because he's been appointed by Trump, you need to remember that he's been a lifelong Democrat and has had certain he's railed against certain things in the past, like Big Pharma, that maybe traditional Republicans might not have done. And I think, some of them will be just easy to kind of sail through. I would have thought Marco Rubio would be very easy to put through as Secretary of State. But I saw some I saw some people complaining about Trump's Labour pick because she is proven to be quite pro-union in the past, and she was endorsed by the Teamsters. And then also there's been questions surrounding some of his medical picks as well. I believe the Surgeon General has been criticized for being quite pro-lockdown in the early days of the COVID. So there could be some choppy waters, and I guess it remains to be seen if the Senate Republicans have much of an appetite to take on this presidency in its infancy.
I mean, one of the differences in theory between last time and now is that Trump knows a lot of the political players better, and he knows how government works better.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's always been they said with Trump when he came in the first time around, that it was almost as if he was caught unawares, and he went for some people that he maybe didn't know, maybe he didn't trust. He was very infatuated with the generals, of course, which kind of blew up in his face. Mm-hmm. I think the only cabinet member that kind of stayed the course and lasted the whole time was Stephen Mnuchin at Treasury, who by all accounts ended up doing a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. But Trump has talked about loyalty and how these cabinet picks, yes, some of them are political animals, but he wants loyalty. What I have found interesting about some of the picks, though, is I don't see them all as being just yes men. I think there will be people who come in with their own ideas, and to hark back to RFK, I think he's a prime example where they're going to have to get on the same page about some stuff, and
including McDonald's.
Well, right. I mean, we saw the picture of RFK looking like he'd rather be anywhere else as he was eating at McDonald's. Look, whether Trump actually kind of picks a fight with him about that sort of stuff, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think we'd all like to have McDonald's and still feel slightly less guilty about it,
right,
and all the crap that you're putting in your body. But I think there'll be moments where there'll be some friction, and it will be a case of is Trump able to navigate that, or is he just simply going to take, no isn't an answer that he wants to hear, and he'll get rid of you.
Should be fun times for us.
Yeah,
thank you, Chris.
Absolutely.
You can read Chris and the rest of our news team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.